on 7, video 7. Okay, so now, as I said, so the you gotta watch somebody by their deeds, not their words. Okay, I mean not the content of their color. Okay, because the words are deeds too. Okay, so that would determine. Okay, so we got to stop looking at the black and white factor. That's irrelevant as it relates to what's most important is the soul, the heart of the man, okay? The heart of the woman, the heart of the individual, okay? And y'all got to remember, okay, black people can claim superiority over, the greater the soul, the greater the divinity, or based upon the actions. So the fact that we are, humanity's wants it, we can all see each other as equals is a good thing. It's a very good thing that black people don't go around claiming superiority. Okay? And trying to make people feel insecure because they are closest to the root. Okay? No, they're saying we're closest to the root, but we're still the tree. The root is nothing. The root, the tree, though the tree is nothing without the root. Okay? The beauty of the tree, okay, is the totality of the tree. That's the beauty of the tree. It's not one secular part of the tree. It's not just the roots. It's not just the leaves. It's not just the stems. It's not just the fruit. It's the totality of the tree. And that's the beauty of black people, the root of the tree. They want to see the whole tree prosper. And the whole tree has to see itself as beautiful, including its roots, because without no roots, there is no tree. There is no branch, there is no fruit, and there's no future tomorrows. Okay? So anyway, the heart, okay, so as I said, we got to look at each other as individuals. The heart is what matters, the seat of the soul. The heart is where the seed of the woman, the black seed of the woman is. Okay? It's where it resides, the soul resides. If one is heartless and cruel, they are soulless. Okay, they have no soul power. They have no soul power, and you will discover such individuals are very dependent on commercial power. Those who have no soul are very, very dependent on commercial power. Okay, they're very dependent on the commercial power. Okay, they're basically addicted to the commercial power because they have no soul by which to feel power, which to feel joy, which to feel life. Commercial power makes them feel life. Okay, commercial power, which is Gentile Zionist, Khazar, Gog and Magog, nuclear power, is for those who are soulless individuals, and they'll be the first ones who don't want to give up nuclear power. But Iran wanted to nuclear disarmament. That's what Iran called for. Iran called in the UN, asked for nuclear disarmament, and Khazar Israel, walked out. They didn't want to hear Iran say nuclear disarmament because then they won't have a case to try to get America to strike Iran and to decimate their humanity and their children, cause their children deformities. So they walked out, and many other people other nations that support the Zionist state walked out with the Zionist Israel. Zionist Khazar walked out with the synagogue of Satan because they didn't want to hear what's his name, the president of Iran say nuclear disarmament. Then they wouldn't have any just cause to go in there. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear. They want Iran they want to try to go around and pimp the world by saying Iran wants nuclear armament. They want a nuclear bomb. No, Iran called for nuclear disarmament. So there's no need for a peace agreement if everybody disarms. Why would anybody want to walk around, live in a world full of soulless beings and not have a means to protect themselves? If America has nuclear weapons, then Iran should be able to have nuclear weapons. But I don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons, and I don't want America to have nuclear weapons. I don't want no country to have nuclear weapons, because look what's happening around the world with those conspiring nuclear power plants that always conspire to just to explode or something happen to them. Yeah, to melt, have meltdowns in March. Why do they always have meltdowns in March? They're programmed to have meltdowns in March, to break down in March, always. But there's a procedure that follows. First a flood, then an earthquake, then nuclear meltdown. How ironic. Same thing going here, right? And same thing going in California. And those people up north, y'all better be careful, okay? All of California has to be careful. We got to pray for California. Uma in the east, pray for California. Pray for us Americans, your American brothers and sisters. Pray for us, okay? Because we're praying for you. We love you, so pray for us. Okay, use your soul power to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us Americans here, because we are under fire too. We are under stress too. Okay, we need your prayers. Pray for us Americans. Okay, all of us. The black one. Pray for all of us. The ones with all of us. We have soul. Those that have the pray for us humanity here in America. Okay. Okay. So anyway. So, yeah, so they know that they only have commercial power, and the Khazar know that they're dependent on that nuclear power, and they don't want Iran to call for nuclear disarmament. But Iran, I think that's alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, continue to call. Maybe they'll listen for nuclear disarmament. I hope that you do continue that, and I pray that inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala the whole world disarms, their nuclear weapons. But you heard the Trump say he wants to have a big build-up because he wants to feel powerful. He wants to feel that soul, commercial, even if it's commercial. He wants to feel it. He wants to feel that heat. He wants to feel hot. He wants to feel sexy. He wants to feel like he have a big dick. Okay? He wants to feel like he got big dick power. He want to be a big dictator. Okay? Okay. Anyway, he wants the biggest dick in the world, right? Okay. Anyway, so then he want to steal the holiest of holiest, right? To stick that commercial dick into, right? Okay. So anyway, the Khazar Gog and Magog, they cling on to that nuclear power. The soulless individual, they will always depend on any a form of weapons to defend themselves. They won't use their hands because they're too weak. They won't go, unarmed because they feel powerless against soul power. Soul power is always threatening and dangerous. That's why the black man and the Arab man will always be a threat, right? But they figure they got the European African snookered into thinking, oh, he's one of us. You're one of us. You're of our nation. You're of the Aryan nation. The Aryan nation for them is Khazar nation. You're of the Khazar nation. You're a Zionist like us. You're like Hitler. You're like Hitler. Okay, you're a mass murderer. Okay, you're like, that's what you're like. That's what they want to tell you, but you're not like them. You're not like Hitler. You have a soul. Okay, you just got to choose to use it. Okay, now but they depend on it rather than depend because they have no strength in their heart. Okay, they are without a soul. They have no soul. They have no heart. Okay, okay. So you got heart, okay? You're not, and you cannot be afraid to use it. Your soul power is more powerful than all the nuclear weapons on this earth, okay? You cannot be afraid of nuclear power, economic, commercial power, okay? When you step into your, solar power, okay? Nuclear power has no more power than the sun. They don't have no more power than the sun. Okay? They don't. If the sun go out tomorrow, they wouldn't see it. If there was no sun, there'd be an ice age. They wouldn't be. First of all, there'd be ice age and there'd be darkness. They wouldn't even have nowhere to push the button. They wouldn't be afraid to. They would be afraid to walk anywhere because there'd be no light. Right? So you have that power. You have the power of the sun in your heart. That's how much power you have. African and African soul man and woman, brothers and sisters. Okay, so you got heart, you got soul power. You don't have to be afraid, and you're not afraid to love the entire world. That's how much love you have in your heart, because you are connected to the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the stars, the planets, the heavens above, Allah. You're connected to life itself. You're connected to everything, and that represents, and you, with that love, you have compassion. You're compassionate, you have to be merciful. You have the character, the compassionate character of Allah, which is represented by the female, which we represent, that feminine, compassionate side of aspect of Allah, which the male represents that strong, dominant side of Allah, aspect, the character, nature of Allah. Allah is one, okay, merciful and strongly powerful in regards to his chastisement. So that's like saying he is the female represents that sensitive side, and the male represents that strong side, and in this world, like the three branches of government. It's one government, but it's three branches, and it all operates within, has a certain purpose. Okay, well, Allah is the one. Okay, and we as created to represent him on earth, and that power is divided between duality, male and female. One soft, one hard. Okay? Soft being the female, hard being the male. Strong, stronger than the female. Okay? But nonetheless, it still represents the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fragmented, but humanity is not powerful enough to represent that all absolute power of the universe. It's fragmented many ways on earth, okay, in order for us to comprehend it with our tiny little minds. When it's compared to Allah, it's nothing. Our minds are nothing in size and capacity as well. Okay, so the Mother Universe represents the merciful, compassionate character of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the feminine aspect of the divine aspect of holiness. Okay, and and it's the merciful, compassionate. It's merciful and compassionate, gentle and soft, which manifests in the universe as feminine. Okay, so in the universe, that aspect, that character aspect of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is manifested as the feminine. Okay, and the masculine, the stronger, chastising, stronger, more powerful aspect of Allah's nature, or Allah's character, or identity. Let's put it that way. Identity of his identity is character identity, not physical identity, but character identity is represented as manifested into the world, is manifested in among humanity as masculine. Okay, and the universe is dominantly masculine. Is dominantly masculine. Okay, but the feminine manifestation is what we represent as women. Okay, as the female. Okay, so okay, now although the masculine and feminine are both divine, and the masculine and feminine are divine aspects of Allah's identity. Okay, character identity, not physical identity, because I don't know his physical identity. I'm not trying to elaborate on any type of physical identity. That's why humanity is not supposed to have any type of idols or statues to represent what God is or what Allah looks like, because no human being has ever seen him but Adam. Okay, and Hawa, his wife. Okay, his black wife, because they were made of black soil of the earth, right? So anyway, and Allah's not a person. He's not physical like us, body, So I'm not trying to describe that. I'm just trying to describe the character, now, and although the masculine is stronger, right, more dominant, both aspects are divine aspects of the identity, the character identity of the divine. Okay. Okay. Okay, and we are physical embodiments that our nature represents should reflect the divine. Our nature should reflect the divine. Okay, the sensitive, compassionate, humanitarian aspect, like the King of Kings. Okay, the legacy. Okay, now, so we all the male and female represent the character identity of their souls represent the character identity of Allah. Okay, of the oneness that He is. Not that He's male and female. No. Just like, when we cry and when we're happy, those are two distinctive character aspects of our nature. But just because just because somebody cries and they laugh does not mean they're schizophrenic. It just means their emotions are, disrupted, so they may be feeling something, so they cry. Then their emotions feel something, so they're happy. They're still the same person. Now, if we were to manifest the crying as an embodiment of something, that would still, represent the emotion of sadness, and then we represent it and happiness as an individual, a character nature, as an embodiment, physical embodiment, that of happiness. It would still be a character aspect of the human being, but it does not mean that the human being itself is schizophrenic or is like they try to say, because the character nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the character identity, the character, not the physical. I don't know about no physical, okay? But the character identity of Allah is gentle and strong. That does not mean, like in the Talmud it says that the character of the divine universe is hermaphrodite. Okay? So just because a person embodies happiness and sorrow in the same, character aspect of themselves does not mean they're a schizophrenic. It just means it's a character of that individual and with embodied in their, personality. So Allah has a character nature too. It's kind, and if it's disturbed, like a human being having a character nature, okay, He gets upset too. Okay, so we can say that character nature is one is like happy and one is like, not displeased. Okay, and the displeased, the happiness, let's say male and female. One is male, one is female. Character aspect is female, is masculine, is stronger than the softer one. So there's a chastising and there's a merciful aspect. And we can either deal with either side. I prefer to stay on the merciful side, the right side. I prefer to stay on the right side. Don't go to that left. Like, don't go to the left. The left side is that chastisement side, that strong side. I want that strong side to protect me. And that's what I say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protect me. Let your mercy be upon me, but protect me with that strong side. That strong aspect of the character of the identity of your character. Okay? Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I pray that the Ummah will say Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. Okay, anyway, so that's what it is. The oneness. We have the oneness, that the conscious energy, a solar energy in our hearts that is geared toward mercy and compassion and love, and unity of our total family tree, right? Love of the tree, to take care of the tree. Allah, okay, loves to see us love one another, spiritually, right? Okay. And if we're going to do a physical, He loves to see us love each other while by His permission, with His will, okay? By that is to be married, right? Okay. Anyway, so to get the full benefit of your soul, He doesn't like humanity bastardizing itself. Okay. So anyway, so that's the divine aspect of the embodiment. That's an aspect of those are two aspects of the divine character of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala: mercy and compassion, and strength. And this mercy would be like the manifested in the physical world like the female, and would manifest itself in the physical world. The chastisement, the strong side, would be manifested in the world like the man. That energy would, that character of identity. I'm not saying physical character of Allah. I'm not. So don't even get that twisted. Don't even get that twisted. Because I'm not trying to get myself in trouble with Allah. Anyway, so okay. But it is difficult to see how divine you are, humanity, if you're born outside the if you're born outside divinity. If you're born outside of it, let's say if you're born outside the walls of the embodiment of divinity, your character nature in which you were born in, the soul of your heart, if the person acts outside of that, they don't act in conjunction with the soul of their heart, that's like acting outside. They don't know their heritage, let's say, their ancestral heritage of how divine they are, their spirit is, right? Then what's going to happen is what? They're not going to be in touch with it. They won't be able to identify with it because it's like, they can't recognize it in themselves. They can't see it in themselves because it's not reflected back to them in their own brother or sister, because humanity's been taken away from looking at the soul, the divinity of the soul, and looking at the facial features. Oh, that one's a little bit whiter. Oh, that one's a little bit whiter. Oh, that one's too black. Oh, that one's got the right a bit of tint. Oh, that one, no, I don't want that one. Oh, no, I don't want that one. Okay? That's what they've been trained to do rather than look at their heart. Okay? So they lost sight of what is most valuable about the human being, and that's the divinity in their soul, the love in their heart, how compassionate, how kind, how caring, how loving, all that good stuff, all the stuff that the legacy represents, right? Okay, because you're born outside the seed, okay, and especially, okay, the seed, the seeds of humanity is being attacked constantly, right? So to repress that conscious spirit, right? So that the humanity won't see its divinity, okay. So I'm gonna try to go here. So like just like the captured Hebrews, Bantu Hebrews here in America, okay. They've been transplanted into the womb of the whore Babylon. The seeds of the woman has been transplanted into the whore of the Babylon. Babylon, the Zionist Khazar, Gog, synagogue of Satan. The seeds of the woman has been transplanted into her to give her black power, right? To give her soul power, right? To make it get that big old piece of shit get up and move, right? But that's why you got to escape Babylon. You got to get out of Babylon. Get out of the whore of Babylon. Okay? So you got to escape. Save yourself. Kunta. Save yourself from commercial slavery. Save yourself from bondage. Save your soul. Because you got to care about yours. Right? Okay? And you got to get stronger. And you can't give up the fight. Okay? Because we're one rhythm nation. Okay? We're one rhythm nation. Okay, all vibing off the vibes of the universe, the rhythms of the universe, all harmonizing with the universe, right? Okay, so you got to escape Babylon. Okay, so the seeds of the woman, like lost sheep, are lost to their soul, and they can't tell where to find it, and are weakened and exploited because of it. The Zionists want to steal the legacy of as I said, of the seed of the woman, the heart of Masri el-Madunya. The Zionists seek to rob humanity of its soul power. And once they do that, what? Take away the light, the lumen, the person is blind, right? Make the lumen burn so low, not like a flaming torch. Make it burn low, right? And in doing so, what do? The person goes to sleep. Thereby they can be exploited. They can be mind controlled. They can be mind. Their soul can be mind, right? The energy of their soul, the black power can be mind, the black gold, because black gold, soul power is gold. That's why the green arc, Jackson's green arc, is black and gold. Black power is gold. Black power is gold. Okay? It's worth more than gold. So it's golden. And the colors of the black arc, of the green arc, black and gold. Okay? Because black soul power is worth gold to the commercial world. And they want to harvest it. Okay? They want to harvest it out of your soul. So they put the person to sleep, unconscious, like they do on the operating table, and just harness that energy out. Milk them to death and bilk them to death in those concentration, those sweatshops for little pennies on the dollar. $8 an hour, or $10 an hour now for an hour of soul power. Okay, when it's worth much more than that. Okay. So they want your black and gold. They want your black and gold. Okay? That's why on the green arc, we do the black and gold. Soul power. Soul power. What we need? Soul power. What we got? The soul power. We got that soul power on Jackson's green arc. Okay, we following the legacy of that soul power. Okay. Anyway, so the seeds of the woman is lost like sheep. The souls, and she can't be where to find them, right? No, Miriam's sheep, the soul. Okay, the seed of the woman. Miriam represents the seed of the woman. The Bantu children, Hebrew, were brought into America, and their souls are being robbed. Their souls are being hidden from them, right? Because the few is turned down. Okay, the seed, the flame is turned down of the soul, right? The soul is the flame. It's turned down. The flame in the heart is turned down. And when the person has no flame, no energy, they don't feel like doing nothing. They feel lethargic. They don't get excited about anything. But they got that burning soul. Everything. They feel everything. Everything makes them happy. The smallest thing makes them happy because it makes them feel good. And especially if it's nature, they're close to nature. They love seeing the moon, the stars, and all the things in life and creation makes them happy because they're feeling their soul. They're feeling connected to the universe. Okay, to the soul power. So taking away the soul, decreasing the flame or the soul power in the heart, right? They can be exploited because they're asleep, they're unconscious, right? They're ruled by subconscious, right? Just planting stuff in there subliminally for them to follow, like they do with those false flags. The false flags enable the Drumpf and those people like that in his Spruce administration and those before him to plant stuff in the mind subconsciously. Subconsciously, when that happened at the hospital, it was like people were to think, their own program themselves, nowhere is safe, not even a hospital, and turn to hate. When they heard about the prison break, those black people are supposed to subconsciously program themselves. Black people they deserve to be there. The Drumpf is right. When that so-called attack happened on in Ohio state, right? And it's supposed to be a Somalian guy from with ISIS, right? So you're supposed to constantly think, that's ISIS. And even at the university, the children are being attacked. We got to go get them. So everything is designed for you to attack your subconscious and for you to do an ill deed act so they can harness your soul power to support the commercial world, and you can press buttons to administer their nuclear commercial uranium power, right? Okay. Anyway, so that's the game there. Anyway, so by and then they can steal the legacy. You help them steal the legacy, and then they turn around and off all humanity, all black power, all humanity with the soul power, and create an anti-Christ world, right? Of antimatter, right? Now that's the game. Okay, because they want to take away the seed of Masari El Medina, Dunya, the seed of woman, which is spoken of in the Bible, right? Okay, and they seek to rob humanity of its soul power, the heart of the sea, the heart of the woman, the red heart, as we said, is the sea, and the soul power is the bloody heart. No, the bloody soul, the heart in the soul in the bloody heart. Okay, that resides in the heart. Okay, as we said, as I already said, because I'm almost done. Alhamdulillah, let me see. Good. Okay. So the black man, the father of all nations, okay, and the Bantu children of the Bantu Hebrew Israelites are the fathers of many nations. While the black man is the father of all nations, the Bantu African children distributed across the world are the father of many nations. They are the seeds of the woman, okay, which gave, so that the soul power gives him credibility to rule. That's why they want to take that, because that soul power gives him credibility to rule, that he is the father of many nations. He has the divine power, he has the divine right, the ability to rule with compassion, mercy, kindness, love, empathy, and all the attributes of for whom this Jackson's green ark is dedicated to the legacy, the heart, the soul of the King of Man, okay, the King of other kings, okay, which is a king is a man when he fathers his nation, right, or when he fathers his family, so that makes him a king. And then the king of the kings is the king of those men, okay, that will make him the father of those men, the king of the man, the king of the kings. He's head of the kings. So from his legacy, the other kings learn how to live. So the prophets would be like the king of kings too, because they bring the book, they're given the books, and from that book the mother teaches the sons, okay, and the sons teach their families and so forth, okay, their children. Okay, so that's the king of the kings, and Michael Joseph Jackson legacy demonstrates he is the king of kings of this 24,000 year cycle, as the universe points to him, and that's why I follow his legacy, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The universe points to him, and also this what is this Pisces new moon lunar eclipse is, his as well as mine, because I have a Neptune ascendant. So as Neptune as well, Pisces ascendant ruled by Neptune. Okay, that space is ruled, that energy is ruled by Neptune rather in Pisces, right? That's why they call it Pisces, because it's ruled by Neptune. Okay, the fish, the water. Okay, so anyway, so that's, and of course, that represents purification and all of that stuff of the spirit, right? So this is his new moon. So I dedicate, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this new moon to all the beautiful humanity with beautiful soul power, and especially the King of Kings, Michael Joseph Jackson, to whom this green ark is dedicated. Okay? To following his legacy, to following the love in his heart, the compassionate, the compassion, the empathy, the mercy, the kindness, the generosity, all of those attributes that, subhanAllah, that beautiful man was of love, divine love, right? Okay, so we're following that legacy, and of the King of Kings. Okay, okay, that all tahas, that is men, are to have, right? Okay, so, and I'll say to that, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and I give wait, let me make sure I've gotten them done before I do that, because I remember I wasn't. Okay, so, so we are to rediscover and awaken the soul in you. Okay, that is what this program is to do, to reacquaint you with your soul. So inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can awaken your soul. You can feed your soul positive energy. Feed that flame. Feed it in you, because it's hungry, but right now it's weak, and that's why they're doing all this terrorizing you, because they know your soul is weak. It's weak, but it's like a little child. It's still a baby, and it's and you got. That's why the prophet born of a virgin said you got to rebirth yourself. You got to be born again. So when you're born again, you're born of your soul power. Right now you're in the physical. When you're born of your soul, that's when you're going to have power. You're going to get that rebirth, and that's why you got to get through this Neptune and purify yourself you know, before you go on and rise at Aries, right? At the equinox, at the spring equinox, which is in March, right? So you got to awaken your soul. And let me go to video 8. Salam alaikum.